the first Friday of every June, starting Friday, June 2nd, National Day Against Gun Violence.
It's a moment to commemorate all the families that have been devastated, the lives lost, the potential lost through gun violence, but also reflect on everything we can do to reduce gun violence in this country.
Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, Raptors President Masai Ujiri, thanks so much for joining us here on the show.
Well,
Great to be here.
Well, usually, Masai is the guy with the fit.
He's always the guy.
I got to say, Mr. Prime Minister, the shoes.
The shoes.
The kids.
The shoes make me look cooler than I actually am. They're my son's Christmas present to me. He's 15, he's a basketball player, and he decided he needed his old man in better shoes than this. So he actually got me, they're the San Francisco Dunks. Oh, sorry, the LA Dodgers Dunks with the gum on the sole, which sold it for me. You know?
Mr. Ujiri, how do we feel about the kicks?
I love them. I'm pissed off because I was trying to be as formal as I can because Mr. Prime Minister was coming into town.
That's my permanent advantage. Everyone goes all like this. I get to show up. Hey!
He came with his A game here with the shoes.
He came dripping.
When I show up at his house, I got to be ready for it.
I knew that was Zabe. I knew that was.
Yeah, that was my son. Yeah, exactly. This is not me. He's way cooler than me. Like his mom, by the way.
But what I'm definitely sensing is that there's definitely a bromance between you two. I don't know. I mean, I'm going to call it that. But you also both made a huge announcement announcing that the first Friday of every June, starting Friday, June 2nd, National Day Against Gun Violence. I want to ask you, what do you want Canadians across this country to do on that day?
Well, first of all, understanding that we are seeing a significant rise in gun violence across this country. From 2009 onwards, we've seen about an increase of about 81% in gun violence, and that is unacceptable. So it's a moment to commemorate all the families that have been devastated, the lives lost, the potential lost through gun violence, but also reflect on everything we can do to reduce gun violence in this country. And there's no one thing, it's a range of things. Yes, we need to continue to strengthen gun control, continue with our ban on assault-style weapons, the freeze on the market on handguns, lots of strengthening at the border, so we're interdicting more illegal guns than ever before. It's not just more policing and enforcement, it's better community programs, it's more investments in youth, it's lots of work on mental health, it's fighting against gender-based violence and domestic violence and intimate partner violence. These are the kinds of things that we have to have a whole of society approach, and quite frankly what Masai's been able to do about bringing young people and empowering them through sport to have confidence, to be positive in their approach to life, and to feel like they have the power to shape their communities and their future is incredibly impactful, and that's why I'm here to support him and to continue to advance.
Well, I want to talk about those preventative measures because we know no young person picks up a gun because they want to pick up a gun. Most end up doing it because they're stuck in a circumstance that we don't want them to be in. So what is your government doing to address that root cause of the problem?
Well, first of all, investing a whole lot in community programs, in gang prevention initiatives, in things like community policing and more resilient mental health supports in communities as well. But it's not just that. It's investing in sports programs, investing in music programs, investing in things and opportunities for young people to actually see that they have value to the community, not just someday down the road if they make it through and become a leader, but right now.
Masai, do you believe that's the approach that needs to be taken?
100%. I think the more we affect youth communities, the youth are the ones that are going to change this, like you said it best, and the more opportunity we give them, whether it's through civil or private sector, whether it's through government, whether it's through community, I believe in sports, I believe in protection, I believe in connectivity, I believe that sports brings peace, and we have to empower them in many ways, and I think we have to put ourselves out there, to give these guys, these communities, these people, these leaders 100% a chance, because we're leaders, we're in front of it. I commend Marcy, I commend Prime Minister, I commend you people that give us this platform, because some people come and talk about it one time, and then it's done. Yeah, but every time I text him, every time we talk about this, always responsive, always wants to meet these people in the community and hear, and see what they are saying. So I truly appreciate that.
I want to ask you both a personal question. And Masai, I'll start with you. What would you say to a young person right now who's watching this, who might have a gun right beside them, or who has access to a gun, or who's thinking about potentially picking up a gun? What would you say to them?
I would say put it down, believe in yourself. For me, sports is my language, maybe find a language, that can speak, that actually preaches maybe peace, and preaches giving to others. For me, remember your childhood, remember people that have helped you, remember your parents, remember your brothers. It could be somebody close to you, and truly believe that I think there are people in this world that believe in you, there are people in this world that believe in us, I grew up in northern Nigeria, and anyway, I could have gone any way, and I decided to follow the love of my life, the basketball, something that really means a lot to me, and it's given me incredible life, incredible family, beautiful wife, beautiful kids, beautiful place, brought me to Canada. I truly appreciate it. So put it down. We believe in you, and you would do the right thing, and you would dream big and be better.
Thank you. Mr. Prime Minister, what would you say to that young individual, or even older individual?
There are no shortcuts. Life is filled with challenges. Life is filled with hard moments. And you got to get through them, and you got to figure out how to dig into yourself and lean on the people around you who love you, who are there to support you, and make it through that. And looking for shortcuts, whether it's violence, whether it's drugs, whether it's hoping to win the lottery, there's no replacement for hard work, for engagement, for leaning on the people around you who believe in you and move forward in the right ways. There are so many reasons to be angry and frustrated and want to lash out at the world, but the path forward to becoming someone who has a positive impact, has a powerful impact on the world around you, is not through the barrel of a gun. It's through steady leadership, being there for each other, drawing on strengths in the community around yourself, and building that path forward.
So, Mr. Prime Minister, I do have to ask you, change does happen sometimes in our world, and I'm sure you've heard about the conversation that's happening about potentially people wanting to switch the lyrics in the anthem. It was started by R&B queen, Julie Black,
who I've known for years.
Who actually performed at the NBA All-Star Game, and she changed those lyrics to, our home on native land. Do you agree with changing those lyrics?
I think that's a really important conversation to have. Yeah. The national anthem, when we changed it a few years ago to All of Us Command, I pointed out that every decade or so, there's little tweaks to the national anthem, and it needs to evolve and change. But for me, it's about having a real conversation with Canadians, particularly with Indigenous people, about what they want and about how we move forward in the right way. You can't go into changing an anthem lightly, but it's an important conversation to be having. I'm glad it's being had.
Alrighty, and who's your favorite raptor?
These days, I don't know.
Size face, he's
Scotty Barnes excites me a whole lot.
All right, that's a good choice.
It's a strong future with him.
Thank you both so much for joining me on the show, and let's hope that with each year that passes, we see the numbers decrease when it comes to gun violence.
That's the plan.
Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister.
Thank you, Brent.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr.
Bless, huh? Thank you.
Hey, it's BG, and I want to know, what do you think about what you just watched? Make sure to drop your thoughts in the comments below, but also make sure to check out even more great content like this video and this video over here. And if you haven't subscribed to the Brandon Gona Show, do so right now by clicking this button right here.